Right, well, this is going to be a wonderful experience because I'm with my favourite beautician, Shelly, in my favourite beauty place, Balm, for a makeup lesson. And I think this is so important because although I like to plaster on the makeup, I absolutely think you need to up the ante and learn techniques about stuff and highlight.
Absolutely,
yes.
Absolutely. Thank you for trusting me.
Let's
just pop that hairband on, just so that I don't colour your hair as well as your skin.
Yes.
Thank you. Fab.
Right.
Right, okay, so I think we're going to look at your getting a nice natural foundation. I know you've spoken about that before, haven't you?
Yes.
Getting that skin illusion. But before that, I was just going to speak to you about sort of your base before you put your foundation on.
Yes.
So I kind of look at skin like a bit of a canvas, so a bit like an artist. I want to sort of prime my canvas. So I know you've cleansed and you've moisturised this morning.
Yes.
And you shouldn't ever put your foundation sort of straight on after you moisturise it because it's literally going to slide off. But you maybe, you know, do need to look at making sure that you've got a nice dewy moisturised skin.
Okay.
Freshly moisturised.
Probably haven't because I...
Yeah.
Yes.
So all I'm going to do just quickly is just a little bit of toner just to freshen things up, and then I'm going to put a light serum on instead of a moisturiser because we're going straight into makeup.
Okay. So
a bit cold.
Okay, no, lovely. It's lovely.
Quite nice actually as well as you get older and with sort of possible hot flushes and things like that, just to keep some of your beauty products in the fridge. So
get away. Oh, I've never thought of that.
Eye cream is amazing in the fridge, and toner as well.
Well, that's a tip.
I've definitely started to do that.
I have no idea. Yes.
Okay. And I think I'll just go for a really light serum, so super hydrating.
Super hydrating serum. I think that's something that's changed quite recently, that once upon a time we just used to put on moisturiser. Now it's serum, moisturiser, and sometimes a primer before you put on a foundation. But I found with the Clarins Skin Illusion, which we're going to, did I say it right? Skin Illusion, that we are going to put on, that I didn't need primer. It is so...
Yeah, and a lot of people will say that, you know, primers are just a bit too much. It's just a step too far to have... You know, and I think we all sort of like quite a light, natural feel on our skin. So to have all of those products on your skin sometimes is a bit too much. So I love the fact that that's serum infused, the Skin Illusion. So you've already got that hydration happening.
Right.
You really don't need too much. Primers are great, especially if you need to keep your makeup on and you've got a bit of an oily skin. But it tends to be that as we sort of get past 50, the oil isn't so much the problem, more the dehydration.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So tiniest bit of moisturiser.
Okay.
And I'm talking weenie.
Oh, right, okay.
Half a teeny.
Yes.
Because our moisturiser's got plenty. Sorry, our foundation's got plenty of moisturiser in. Okay. How's that feel?
Lovely and moisturised. Yes, before I wasn't. Yeah, I could tell.
And it's just also, you know, making sure you've got these areas anywhere that kind of gets a little bit dry. Okay. So, I mean, we've already kind of found you your perfect foundation, but I know you were wearing something a bit darker, weren't you, before that?
I was making a big mistake.
Yeah.
Of trying to have a slightly more colourful face, because as you age you lose colour in your face, and I just didn't want to look that white look that some older people have.
Pasty.
So sorry, pasty.
Yeah.
No. So
and you've always been quite olivey, and that's your...
I'm warm because I am freckly.
Yeah.
So I have those yellow freckles underneath the skin.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then when we spoke, we discussed the fact that actually the way to get that sort of, more sun-kissed look was through a bit of clever contouring, highlighting, blushes, rather than foundation. Because really, your foundation does need to match your neck.
Yes, I was bringing the foundation down to my neck,
Yeah.
over my neck, around my neck, because so this one is lovely.
Yeah. So I've just popped a little bit, you know, forehead, nose, cheeks, and chin, and then I'll work it outwards.
Okay. And you're using a brush?
I am, yeah. I mean, personally, I think sponges, they soak up a lot of already quite expensive products.
Okay.
So I'm not a big fan of a sponge, just because I think you lose lots of it. The same with dry hands, you can lose a lot of your foundation. Whereas a really good quality brush, you know, yes, you give them a wash every week, and you know you'll see lots of makeup come out of them.
I absolutely do wash mine a week, but I do use a brush.
Yeah,
I do.
Great. I think it's the best way, really. And you can really blend, you know, because also as you get older, you know, you've got uneven pores, uneven textures, you've got little lines and wrinkles, and you want to get, you know, you want to get in there, you want to make sure that everything is blended in all of those areas, and you can't necessarily do that with your fingers or with a sponge. So really just work it in.
Okay.
You can kind of see that you just got it's really just evened up your skin texture, but it kind of doesn't look any different in colour. Yep, it's definitely good for you. Fab. So concealers.
Oh yes, right.
I mean, so many different types of concealer, and it depends what you want it for. So if you want a concealer that covers up a spot, it tends to sort of contain quite a lot of powder. If you want a concealer that you want to cover up dark circles, it's a bit more kind of serum or water based. So it's more about kind of hydration. It contains light reflecting particles rather than powders. So I know in terms of your skin, we're looking at just getting some under eye cover.
Under eye, absolutely. Into the eye where that blue area is.
Yeah.
Which comes, it's kind of gets, that you get more of that when you don't sleep well. But it's just there as you age. Yeah. And I always do. Funny enough, I found the Clarins Illusion so good. I've been painting it into that corner. But I do have that as well, actually.
So if you were to watch, you know, lots of sort of makeup videos about sort of people getting absolutely flawless under eye, there are so many things.
I don't think that will happen to me.
There's so many things you could do, you know, there's different sort of colours that you can use to counter the blue and so on. It's all a bit too much faff. It's definitely not for a daily thing. So what you would need is something that contains a little bit of pink.
Yes.
Because we want to just get a little bit of warmth in here. I'm using our foundation brush, but obviously you would just apply it with its own brush. It's just for hygiene reasons that I'm not really.
Yes.
But the key thing with this is to get it, if you just close for me, is to get it right in that eye socket.
Yeah.
A little bit going across the lid.
Got you.
But right in the eye socket, underneath, a little bit across the lid. So one of the things that's probably most aging, I find, is when you get when you can see sort of pinky lids, veins and things like that. So it's about, with your foundation and concealer, all you really want to do is try and get as much of that covered as possible without it looking too heavy. A lot of people past 50 don't want to do powder because it just clings to lines and wrinkles. That's why something like the Skin Illusion foundation is brilliant, because it's serum infused. So it keeps everything really light. Okay, open for me. Perfect. Lovely.
Okay.
So the next thing really would be that if you were going to powder, so if you still had a bit of oil in your skin, you know, just a very light dusting of powder, something translucent, quite silky and light. There's lots of different types. Not a pressed powder, not something heavy.
Oh, how interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I never use powder. Now, what I remember, of course, is my mother's powder puff made of swan's down.
It's probably brilliant, something like that, because it keeps it really light.
And Helena Rubinstein powder.
Yeah.
Yes. And the smell.
Was it lovely? You remember the smell?
I remember the smell. I don't use any powder, so you're actually going to put some on, are you?
I don't think I will,
No.
because you haven't got an oily skin,
No,
but
I
I think for ladies
Yes.
that do still have a bit of a T-zone thing happening, and you can still
Yes.
have that, you know,
Yes.
way into your sort of 60s, you know, people that have had a really oily skin can still.
But of course my mother didn't use any foundation, it was just powder
Yeah.
and lipstick. So different, you know, to how we did it.
Yeah.
How we did it in the 50s and 60s, when first of all the mascara you spat into the black thing and... Anyway, what are you doing now?
So I know you love your eye makeup.
I do.
You're a bit of an eye makeup girl,
I am.
and you generally, you'll wear it sort of daily as well.
I do.
If you didn't, I would recommend having something like this kind of soft beige, like or nudie pink, or champagne,
do you know, I
or
love
an
that.
apricot.
I do love that makeup.
Yeah, or a
I
light
love that
taupe,
one.
something like that.
Okay.
And the way to apply that, even if you would have nothing else, if you weren't
Yes.
to sort of then build it with your browns or greys, just again, socket to brow, sweep across,
Oh, right, okay.
make a line, fill it in.
Oh, right, okay.
Okay?
Got you.
So easy. You can do it with your eyes closed. Socket to brow, sweep
Right.
across, make a line,
Okay.
fill it in.
Wow.
And if you did nothing else, except that and maybe get your eyelashes tinted every month rather, then you'd be fine. You know, your eyes would always look like they had a little touch of something.
I don't dye anything. No, it's very sad, actually, because although I'm totally okay with going white,
Yeah.
I miss dyeing the eyebrows.
Do you?
Which I do think is the best solution for eyebrows. But I went slightly pink, so I think you've got to listen to your body. And so I rely on mascara. Yeah, just a bit of blob of mascara on my eyebrows.
Yeah. With
Yeah.
you.
So I don't. Yeah. So I wouldn't dye my eyelashes, and I can't. You know, I can't dye my eyelashes, and I can't dye my eyebrows. However, would you agree with me that the dyeing of the eyebrows is the best solution?
Definitely.
It's wonderful. If you can do it, I'd say do it.
Yeah. You can do amazing things with a pencil. It just all gets a bit harder.
It's
if
harder
you
to do.
Yeah, and if you wear glasses or your hand isn't particularly steady and things like that it all gets a little bit more difficult. So just even a monthly eyelash and brow tint or something. Yeah.
I would recommend it to anybody.
Okay, so I'm going to use a product called Taupe. So it's 03. It's a matte eyeshadow. And I think also people do struggle with applying eyeshadow. Do you agree? Sort of
I think
just
they
getting
do
it-
because I don't.
Yeah.
I absolutely adore plastering it on and manage most of the time to look okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But a lot of people say, "Well, I couldn't do what you do."
Yeah.
You know, so
So a few tips for women
Okay.
that are struggling
Yes.
to get their smoky eye on.
Yeah.
This is called a socket brush.
okay.
So the beauty of a socket brush is that you can do it literally with your eye closed, because I
Yes.
think women find that if they wear lenses and all of that stuff, they're finding it a bit harder to do their eye makeup with their eyes, you know, have a mirror and,
Yes,
you know,
yes,
be
yes.
doing all of this with an eye open. You can do it with your eye closed or with your eye
Wonderful.
open and looking in the mirror just by rolling the brush backwards
Okay.
and forwards.
Okay.
The other thing we're going to use is a tissue just to get an accurate line.
All right.
Okay. So if I put my tissue here
Yes, yes.
where I want it, and I get the majority of the colour off of my brush along the line of the tissue, and then I roll this brush into the socket.
Right. Okay.
So rolling it along
Okay.
right across.
Mhm.
And now if you open that eye, and I do it, so I'm coming at you, but just open your eye, and just if you were doing it yourself, you'd be able to just roll this along quite comfortably until this was all blended.
Oh yes, me and my eyeliner.
How do you feel about eyeliner?
I love it. I've
Yeah.
been told many times, do not do that under the eye eyeliner with the flick up.
Yeah.
Sorry. I keep doing it.
But you can carry it
yeah,
because of
yeah.
your fashion sense and your hair and your overall look. You can carry it. Not everybody feels that they can do that. And I think if you can't do it, if you feel you can't, you can still do a version of it. You know, just kind of still get the colour underneath, get it all going on, but just soften it out a little bit with a brush.
Yes, I agree. Sometimes I look at myself and think, oh, perhaps I have been a bit heavy-handed. And then I say to myself, I don't care, actually.
It's the way to be.
I think bring it on. Yeah.
But also with makeup, I think a good idea is to just sort of find some time, have a bit of a play with it all. You take tips like these, and then take photos. Do it. Take a photo. Look at the photo. You know, they don't lie, unfortunately, do they?
No, they don't. No, definitely not.
And just see how you feel about it. You know. So I'm just blending that now with the other beige, just to soften that line because it's quite strong.
Okay.
So just with what's left on the brush, softening it. So this is still giving you your quite sort of cat's eye, but in a kind of smoky, soft taupe rather than a black line. How's it feeling? Not too heavy?
No. I love all
Shouldn't worry about you with that, should I?
all aspects of makeup, yes, which began in my teens with a kind of a let's all be like Bridget Bardot with pink lipstick, tanned face, which you got by sunning yourself in the sun with no sun cream, and blue eyeshadow and mascara, as I said, that you spat into.
Oh my God.
Yes, you do. Do you not remember? No, you
so
do.
unhygienic.
This is so before your time.
No, not that far. I do
it was
remember my mum
block.
doing that.
It was a block of mascara.
Yes, yeah.
Which had to be kind of moistened, and I'm sure they didn't want you to.
So I'm just popping a soft sort of it's called charcoal.
Okay.
It's not black, it's a very, very dark slate grey. Along here, just along that top line to give a bit more definition.
And another thing I used to do in my early 20s, there was a fashion to put a line, just a line, a curved line halfway between your eyebrows and your eye socket line.
A curved line?
Yeah, just floating in the, not exactly in the blue, just,
Okay. That's so funny.
It was actually, but it was a look.
Bardot did that very candy pink.
She was candy pink, so this was a look after it.
Okay.
This was, she was 60s, and this would be late 60s, early 70s, that line.
So eyeliner, just open for me. You know, it can be really, it doesn't have to be this perfect line. People think that they have to get a really perfect line. So you can literally just sketch it, like, you know, little strokes like this, or you can dot it.
Yes, I know about the dotting. Yes.
Whichever you're comfortable with, and then just blend it. If you've got a good one, it's got a brush or a smudger on the end. Just look up for me.
Yeah, funny enough. Yes, I've wondered what that was for, that brush.
Yeah, just a bit of a smudge.
Oh, okay. So I'll put less on and use the brush. Okay.
Okay, so brows.
Now brows, yes, are my, because I do think brows are so important.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's difficult with brows, finding the right colour, especially if you've got grey hair.
Yes.
So you need to, even if you're fair everywhere, don't necessarily go for a brown because it can be a bit gingery, it can be a bit sort of red. So a dark brown used
Yes.
sparingly. With somebody
Okay.
with your colouring, you can see that, you know, there was sort of
There was
darker, yeah.
I was red.
And the same with
Yes.
brows here. Were you
Yeah, I was a redhead.
always all over, or sort of with some darker?
No, I
'Cause your
was
brows
a,
are quite dark,
I was a
naturally.
strawberry blonde. So I went blonde in the summer and redder in the winter.
Your brows have still got quite a few dark.
They have. In my very early 40s, I started to lose the red,
Right.
and it went gunmetal, and that's
Yeah.
when I went blonde for 20 years.
Which is kind of where I'm at. I don't know what to do with it.
Yes.
It's fully grey now, and it's
Oh, right,
just how do you
yes.
blend it?
How do you do it? There'll come a time, but my time didn't come until I was 70, so you got a long way,
Yeah, a lot of colouring.
a lot of colouring.
I don't really want to do it though. I don't want the maintenance. So
Then there's in social media, there's a whole community of younger women who have gone grey. You need to look out for those women. I resisted it for a long time.
did you?
Yeah, because there are some people who are like the grey-haired police. You know, they are. They're a bit right on and politically correct.
I
and
think it
so-
looks lovely. Just
So yes, I resisted, but not anymore. No.
so with brows, a bit
Yeah.
like that eyeliner on the eyes, just sketching it on. You know,
Okay.
it doesn't have to be
Yes.
again a perfect line. You don't want it to be a perfect line. You want it to look like strokes of hair.
Okay.
So just stroking it across like this, and then again using the brush at the end, just to soften it out.
Lovely.
Right, so blush and sort
yes,
of
and
contouring
contouring.
and that kind of thing. I mean, I think, so I'm a big kind of eyes or lips person, no
Yes.
matter what age you are. I kind of think you struggle to do both. And I think if you do both and lots of blusher, it's all going
Yes.
a bit wrong.
Yes, that would be too painted.
So, yeah. But I think, you know, when you're doing something like these nice charcoaly taupey eyes, you need to warm everything up, because
Yeah.
we're not going to do that by putting sort of a bold lip on as well.
No,
I know you
no.
often do. A
I
bold
don't.
lip.
No, I don't actually.
Do you keep your lips quite nude? I thought you had some oranges or something.
I don't actually. I'm quite
I don't know
nude.
why do I think that?
I've ordered a colour from you, which you put on me before. But no, I would love to do orange actually.
Yeah.
That was
We need to try that without the eyes.
but without the eyes.
Yeah, can do the black eyeliner and things like that. So I would say a nice kind of warm, this is called rosewood.
Okay, I think I've got that. Have I got one?
It's a kind of pinky bronze, but
Yes,
not too much
I
pink.
think I have.
Always take the excess off on your
Oh,
hand
right,
first,
okay.
so that you don't go straight into the face
Okay.
and just create that, you know, Art Sally thing.
Yes.
Yeah. And with blusher, so you've got a lovely slim face. If you had, you know, a little bit more roundness going
Yes.
on here, you know, we'd want to sort of just take that in a little bit. So where I would apply your blusher if you had a fuller face would be different to how I'll apply it on a
Yes.
slimmer face.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So I'm going to keep yours
Okay.
fairly high here.
Okay.
And just a little kick
Oh, really? Darling?
over.
Okay.
Just because I know that you like that. I don't want to look too pasty. And then I would use something to highlight.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
And this again will keep it fresh, stop it looking sort of powdered or heavy. This is just like a peachy apricot-y highlighter, just along that cheekbone. So
Okay.
we're bringing that out,
Yes.
emphasising that. Yeah, that's lovely. Okay. Lips with something like this. eye makeup that you've got on,
Mm-hmm.
I think just a really lovely kind of neutral
Yes, definitely.
balm. Nothing too sort of gluey and sticky, but something like this is perfect. This is, again, it's called Rosewood 06.
Okay.
You can go in with pencils and things to line first, but the likelihood is that you'll be sort of applying throughout the day anyway. And something like this, you could get it over the lines. It wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't look odd.
I do tend to bleed though into the upper lip.
Yeah.
So
you would
I'd be interested
generally, yeah.
in how it goes. What's that?
Mascara.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
Okay. And just blink for me through the brush until it's closed. I'm just really trying to get that length. And you've actually got nice, full and long lashes. They're just quite fair. So it makes such an instant difference once you've got your mascara on, doesn't it? Save them for me. And blink right through the brush.
Some people want you to use lash curlers, and I find I retreat from them. Wouldn't know what to do with them.
Just open for me. And close. And open. Yeah, I think they're quite fiddly, and
They
I
are.
definitely find contact lens wearers and stuff, they really struggle with them.
Yes, I have contact lens. Don't at the moment. So you're a bit of a blur, Shin. I thought
That's
it was
probably a good thing.
probably a good idea not to wear them,
Yeah.
because you can put makeup on easily with your contact lens. I have hard contact lens.
Just any little bits of mascara that kind of transfer. Just use your socket brush to blend them in. Look at. A lot of women find this, that as you're sort of opening and closing, your mascara's going under, over, especially when you're looking up like this. Just need to give it a minute really before you move your eyes around too much. I'm just
Yes, I always have cotton buds at the ready.
at the ready.
I do, yes.
Okay. Let's let you have a little look and see what you think. I'm going to take this hairband off just to give you your hair back, because it's always a good idea to do that. Give somebody their hair back before you check.
The thing is, I'll have to go and put my. I think we can do a finish for this. Oh wow, video, but I can see, but not 100% because if
Glasses?
well, I could put my glasses on. Yes, yes, right. Oh wow, yes, it is a different look.
The glasses are so pretty.
Yeah, it is a different look.
Because you usually go for browns, don't you?
do,
And I've
I
gone
do.
for more sort of mushroomy, taupey
Oh right,
greys,
yes.
which I
Yes.
think with your eyes look amazing.
Has that actually brought the colour up?
Yeah.
Because I think with the browns, I was thinking it kind of slightly deadens the blue,
Yeah.
and I'm not exactly worried about it, but I did notice that. And this, you brought the blue out. My goodness, without it being a blue eyeshadow.
Yeah.
Which is actually a no-no.
Yeah, and the thing is, because you are, you know, you love your clothes and
Yes.
the way that you dress, and like you say, the way that you would normally put your eyeliner.
Yes.
I don't know if you just can see that I've put quite a strong line on your eyes, on your eyeshadow.
Yes.
Stronger. You know, somebody else, I might blend it more, but actually, it does give you quite a nice sort of funky look, but without it maybe being a bit in your face, like a strong flicky black line.
Yes.
Just a thought.
Yes. Yeah, it is. And
There's so many looks we could try on you, Penny.
Really, really. Oh, this is fun. Okay, shall we call this a wrap?